Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Are we live?
Yes,
I think we're live.
we are. That light is bright.
Yeah, we're live.
How are you doing this morning?
No volume.
Uh,
Oh, can you hear me now? Oh, man. Say something. Can you hear me? Yeah. Very loud.
how about now? Okay, it wasn't my side then. So, how are you this morning?
Tired. I'm
I
doing
am
all right.
too. I get to walk to the bank today. Woohoo! Fun. We're waiting for some people to come in. My friend's not going to be here. She has other things to do this morning. So, I don't know if anybody's coming today, but hey, we'll go anyway. So you don't hear an echo because I also have the YouTube open.
As long as you have it muted, there won't be an echo.
Okay.
Crystal's going to do a Twinkie dessert on Destinations Delight this afternoon.
Oh,
I believe it's 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
okay.
Why does my picture look all grainy?
Probably because your camera, mine does that too.
Show you something.
He's sleeping.
Yeah.
Mister is here sleeping too.
Yeah, he's right next to me, so.
Well, I really hope that my chats being uploaded doesn't make people not want to be here. Um, so I'm just gonna put it out there. If you rather not have everybody know you're in here, please don't leave a chat, but you can hit the like button because I am having issues with getting the chat to not upload. I need to figure it out. So a lot of people have work today, so I'm not sure if we're gonna get anybody in.
I'm glad he's finally comfortable. Looks freaking terrible. It's gonna drive me crazy.
Yeah, mine does it too.
Hello, welcome in.
Hello.
We won't say your name because we
Not
don't have
saying
your
names.
permission.
Yep, not saying names because my chat uploads. So if you want them to know you're in here, you can chat. If you don't, then don't chat because I can't figure out how to not upload the chat on the YouTube side or on the StreamYard side. I'm lost, so I'm still learning, y'all. It's good to have you here, and thank you for stopping by for a few. I appreciate you and all you do for our community of caring and trusting people. So
Coffee. Cheers.
I'm drinking a soda, not sponsored by them. And I might have to give in and bum a soda off of my sister. Something with more caffeine.
Well, I do have Coke Zero.
Yeah, but still caffeinated.
No.
Thank you. It's my new hoodie from my sister and my brother-in-law. We went to the 60s Cafe in Lincoln City for our birthday. Um, we've got videos coming out. She's got some and I have some. So that's going to be for my adventure stuff. Yes, we have matching hoodies. Again, matching.
And yes, they are the same color, just a different light.
Yep,
I think they're the same color.
they are. But the only thing that is wrong when we do the matching is we always have to check the tags to make sure it's the right one.
Especially if we do laundry together.
Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. But so if you're new coming in, welcome. My name is
Hello, welcome in.
Recovering Alcoholic.
We won't say your name just in case you don't want us to.
She already said
The
I
chat
could.
does get uploaded because she doesn't know how to turn the chat off from being uploaded. So if you don't want to chat, you don't have to. But we appreciate everybody coming in. Just show a little bit of support. It's amazing.
Yeah.
She didn't think this was helping anybody, but I'm here to tell her that it does. And if you agree, please hit the thumbs up. And we appreciate it.
Thank you. Jolly, I remember you said that I could say you in here. Thank you, Roy and Becky, for the raid. I appreciate you guys and everything that you do. You keep us entertained with your commercials and your what you're doing, and what location you're at. Well, anyways, what state you're in. Um, and Becky, I want to say safe travels and enjoy your trip back home. And I seriously do appreciate you. I'm going to shout out Ava Potter Field and Friends. She is a very kind lady. She's helped me since I have started my channel. In more than just saying, hey, just upload that, or being someone that I can call and talk to you about whatever. Um, so I appreciate everybody coming. Um, it means a lot to me. I seriously didn't think that this would be doing anything for anyone. When I first started AA, I asked around. I was like, "Well, should I start it or shouldn't I?" And I was told that it may not go anywhere, but it might. So I figured I'll give it a go. And hey, I got this gift for free. I'm going to give it for free. Um, but I will go for my whole channel on my adventure side. I do have a what is it called? A PayPal link in my description. That is for traveling. Um, we're trying to get enough funds to go to the Oregon meetup this summer. So if you can donate a little bit, awesome. If you can't, that's okay. So, but today is AA, and we are reading the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions book, page 160, Tradition 7, and I put all of that in uh, the information on the video. And I just learned how to schedule my live, so I'm going to start doing that. Um, so, anyways, we're going to say the Serenity Prayer, and then I will read the steps, and then we'll read Tradition 7. Okay. God,
God,
grant me the
show
serenity
serenity to
to
accept the
accept the
things I
things I
cannot change,
cannot change,
the courage
the
to
courage
change
to
the
change
things
the
I
things
can,
I can,
and the
and the
wisdom to know
wisdom
the
to know the
difference.
difference.
Is my dryer too loud, everybody?
I can hear it, but not. I have an earbud in, so
I'll turn it off.
thank you for coming, everybody. I appreciate you all so very much.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Step 1. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5. Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defective characters. 7. Humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8. Made a list of all people we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9. Made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10. Continue to take personal inventory and when wrong, promptly admit it. 11. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. And Tradition 7.
Thank you, Becky and Roy.
Every AA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. Self-supporting alcoholics who ever heard of such thing. Yet we find that what we have to do This principle is telling evidence of the profound change that AA has brought. How do you say that word?
I have no clue.
Brought in all of us. Everybody knows that active alcoholics scream that they have no troubles money can't cure. Always we've had our hands out. Time out of mind, we've been dependent upon somebody, usually money wise. When a society composed entirely of alcoholics says it's going to pay its bills, that's really news. Probably no AA tradition has the labor pains this one did. In early times, we were all broke. When you add to this the
Habitual.
habitual supposition that people ought to give money to alcoholics trying to stay sober, it can be understood why we thought we deserved a pile of folding money, what great things AA would be able to do with it. But oddly enough, people who had money thought otherwise. They figured that it was high time we know, or we now, sober, paid our own way, so our fellowship stayed poor because it had to. There was another reason for our collective poverty. It was soon apparent that while alcoholics would spend lavishly on 12-step cases, they had a terrific aversion to dropping money into a meeting place hat for group purposes. We were astonished to find that we were as tight as the bark on a tree. So AA, the movement, started and stayed broke, while its individual members waxed prosperous.
Alcoholics are certainly all or nothing people. Our reactions to money prove this. As AA emerged from its infancy into adolescence, we swung from the idea that we needed vast sums of money to the notion that AA shouldn't have any. On every lip were the words, "You can't mix AA and money." We shall have to separate the spiritual from the material. We took this violent new tack because here and there members had tried to make money out of their AA connections, and we feared we'd be exploited. Now and then, grateful benefactors had endowed clubhouses, and as a result, there was sometimes outside interference in our affairs. We had been presented with a hospital, and almost immediately the donor's son became its principal patient and would-be manager. One AA group was given $5,000 to do with what it would. The hassle over the chunk of money played havoc for years. Frightened by these complications, some groups refused to have a cent in their treasuries. Despite the misgivings, we had to recognize the fact that AA had to function. Meeting places cost something. To save whole areas from turmoil, small offices had to be set up, telephones installed, and a few full-time secretaries hired. Over many protests, these things were accomplished. We saw that if they weren't, the man coming in the door couldn't get a break. These simple services would require small sums of money which we could and would pay ourselves. At last, the pendulum stopped swinging and pointed straight at Tradition 7 as it reads today. In this connection, Bill likes to tell the following pointed story. He explains that when Jack Alexander's Saturday Evening Post piece broke in 1941, thousands of frantic letters from distraught alcoholics and their families hit the foundation letterbox in New York. Our office staff, Bill says, consisted of two people, one devoted secretary and myself. How could this landslide of appeals be met? We'd have to have some more full-time help, that was sure. So we asked the AA groups for voluntary contributions. Would they send us $1 a member a year? Otherwise, this heartbreaking mail would have to go unanswered.
To my surprise, the response of the group was slow. I got mighty sore about it. Looking at this avalanche of mail one morning at the office, I paced up and down, ranting how irresponsible and tightwad my fellow members were. Just then, an old acquaintance stuck a tousled and aching head in the door. He was our prize Slippy. I could see he had an awful hangover. Remembering some of my own, my heart filled with pity. I motioned him to my inside
Cubicle.
cubicle and produced a $5 bill, as my total income was $30 a week at the time. This was a fairly large donation. Lois really needed the money for groceries, but that didn't stop me. The intense relief on my friend's face warmed my heart. I felt especially
Virtuous.
virtuous as I thought of all the ex-drunks who wouldn't even send the foundation $1 apiece. And here I was gladly making a $5 investment to fix a hangover. The meeting that night was at New York's old 24th Street clubhouse. During the intermission, the treasurer gave a timid talk on how broke the club was. That was in the period when you couldn't mix money and AA. But finally, he said, the landlord would put us out if we didn't pay it. He concluded his remarks by saying, now boys, please go heavier on the hat tonight, will you? I heard all the quiet plainly as I was Peroster. Don't know what the word is, sorry guys. Trying to convert a newcomer who sat next to me. The hat came in my direction and I reached into my pocket, still working on my prospect. I fumbled and came up with a 50-cent piece. Somehow it looked like a very big coin. Hastily I dropped it back and fished out a dime, which clinked thinly as I dropped it in the hat. Hats never got folding money in those days. Then I woke up. I who had boasted my generosity that morning, was treating my own club worse than the distant alcoholics who had forgotten to send the foundation their dollars. I realized that my $5 gift to the Slurpee or Slippy was an ego-feeding
Proposition.
proposition, bad for him and bad for me. There was a place in AA where spirituality and money would mix, and that was in the hat.
There is another story about money. One night in 1948, the trustees of the foundation were having their quarterly meeting. The agenda discussion included a very important question. A certain lady had died. When her will was read, it was discovered she had left Alcoholics Anonymous in trust with the Alcoholics Foundation a sum of $10,000. The question was, should AA take the gift? What a debate we had on that one. The foundation was really hard up just then. The groups weren't sending in enough for the support of the office. We had been tossing in all the book income, and even that hadn't been enough. The reserve was melting like snow in springtime. We needed that $10,000. Maybe some said. The groups will never fully support the office. We can't let it shut down. It's far too vital. Yes, let's take the money. Let's take all such donations in the future. We're going to need them. Then came the opposition. They pointed out that the foundation board already knew of a total of $500,000 set aside for AA in the wills of people still alive. Heaven only knew how much there was we hadn't heard about. If outside donations weren't declined, absolutely cut off, then the foundation would one day become rich. Moreover, at the slightest intimation to the general public from our trustees that we needed money, we could become immensely rich. Compared to this prospect, the $10,000 under consideration wasn't much. But like the alcoholic's first drink, it would, if taken, inevitably set up a disastrous chain reaction. Where would that land us? Whoever pays the piper is apt to call the tune. And if the AA Foundation obtained money from outside sources, its trustees might be tempted to run things without reference to the wishes of AA as a whole. Relieved of responsibility, every alcoholic would shrug and say, "Oh, the foundation is wealthy. Why should I bother?" The pressure of that fat treasury would surely tempt the board to invent all kinds of schemes to do good with such funds, and so divert AA from its primary purpose. The moment that happened, our fellowship's confidence would be shaken. The board would be isolated and would fall under heavy attack of criticism from both AA and the public. These were the possibilities, pro and con.
Then our trustees wrote a bright page of AA history. They declared for the principle that AA must always stay poor. Bare running expenses plus a prudent reserve would henceforth be the foundation's financial policy. Difficult as it was, they officially declined that $10,000 and adopted a formal, airtight resolution that all such future gifts would be similarly declined. At that moment, we believed the principle of corporate poverty was firmly and finally embedded in AA tradition. When these facts were printed, there was a profound reaction to people familiar with endless drives for charitable funds. AA presented a strange and refreshing spectacle, approving editorials here and abroad generated a wave of confidence in the integrity of Alcoholics Anonymous. They pointed out that the irresponsible had become responsible and that by making financial dependence part of its tradition, Alcoholics Anonymous had revived an ideal that its era had almost forgotten. The era that they almost forgotten is you receive a gift for free, you give it for free. That's what I think. And now we do, AA does ask for donations, but the donations are like $1 or $2, depending on the expenses, you know. Like we pay the rent if you're renting a place, which I'm renting my apartment and I don't expect anybody to pay for that. So, but like for rent and coffee and the electric, because when I first started going to AA, let me get a drink of my coffee. When I first started going to AA, they did pass around a basket for donations. And it was for AA literature because we don't only buy books for the group. When we need new ones, they buy new ones for the group. There is pamphlets for every race, your personal orientations. So they have to be able to purchase those things and pay the rent and buy the coffee and pay the electric bills, but they don't ask for huge donation because of this tradition. It can cause problems, you know, if you have someone say, "Oh well, I donated this much and you didn't donate enough." That's not going to work because you donate what you can, and usually it is only $2.
And the donation that you give is anonymous.
Yes.
Nobody needs to know how much you donate.
Yeah. Right. And then again, there's times that I have been there and I've had nothing to give for donation. And I still enjoy the coffee and I go through the book. Or if it's an open meeting, we get to talk about our stories or how our week went or what have you. We can do that also. But it's all free. Everything you go there for is free. They usually have the books,
On the table.
usually enough books for everyone that comes to that meeting. I don't expect everybody to have a book, but if you can, it's a great thing to have around if you're having troubles or whatever. Get a book. I got this one and I have the big book.
It's
They
great to
do
just
help.
read the book.
They
It
do help.
helps.
Yes. And I have learned through reading these things multiple times that every time I read them, something catches my eye and catches my thoughts on, oh, wait, that means this much to me, and how it affected me in what way and stuff like that. So this tradition I completely understand because we had a couple of months that our group didn't have the money for the rent and they weren't going to be able to budge on how much we had to pay because it was, you know, things are changing. And so I was working at the time, and I love my group, my home group. So I donated a chunk. You know, I'm like, take it. You guys need it for everything you're providing. And that's a gift to me that I don't have to pay for. And so, and paying it forward always feels great. And if I can pay it forward, I try to. If I can help someone, hence free help, I try to. And I strive on having a purpose. This is my purpose. AA means the world to me, and it's helped me in so many ways. And I'm glad that my friend told me about it. And thank you for subscribing. I'm not going to say your name because I don't know if you want me to, even
Let
though it'll
us in
go
the
in
chat.
chat. But what are your thoughts?
I think that it's great that it's free. It helps people. There is no big source of money in AA. It's each group is independent, but consider AA as a whole. Donations are exactly that. They're donations for supplies, for rent, for the coffee, for reading materials. They don't collect donations for themselves. It's not for one person. It's for the group as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
They don't keep the money. And like we would have AA picnics. Those are not funded by anybody.
No.
Those are on our donations. It's always potluck. You bring something if you can. If you can't, that's fine. And it's just nice to have meetings that are free. You can go share your story with other people like you, and it helps to know you're not alone.
Yeah.
Thank you, Katie. That is awesome. Thank you. We appreciate your support.
And thank you for sharing me. I just responded to that. I appreciate you and everything you do. You're an awesome dude. And I can't wait to meet you at Oregon 23, providing we get to go. Of course,
We will get to go. I will be saving money.
Come on. You're interrupting my live stream. It's not your Today Show. It's an AA meeting and you're not invited. Move. Ball.
So I'm happy that we're giving away what we have gotten for free, and we're giving it away for free. And it's really, it's the full circle of things.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 8 years sober, and I'm still learning. I'm still discovering new things in the book and how to deal with certain things as they happen in my life. And it really does help. It helps a lot.
Yeah, it does. I've been sober for 8 years and almost 5 months. So it doesn't work for everyone. I'm not saying that by any means, but if if you feel like you are struggling with the alcohol, um, you can apply AA to just about everything in life. It's just a better way to go about your day. Things that you can do to like meditate and get out of that thought process of being mean, you know, cursing at somebody or what have you. Um, you do meet good people. I mean, I have friends that I'd never thought I'd have, just like I have all of you. But when we came back from Southern Oregon, um, I really didn't have very many people.
That's
And so
fantastic, Jenny. That's fantastic.
I didn't see it. What am I missing?
I wish I had been sober my whole life.
Yeah,
But,
that's awesome.
People have different lives. They experience different things. They go through different things. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a recovering alcoholic and addict. So,
Yep.
things happened in my life, and I'm not ashamed of it because I survived. I made it. I'm on the other side of those things.
Yep.
And with the help of AA and its free meetings and everything else, I feel better about myself. I am a better person
Yeah.
today than what I was back then. So,
Yeah. I know that one thing that I lost while I was drinking was some of my family. They didn't want anything to do with my drunk butt. Just saying. I mean, some of my family were like, no, absolutely no way, no how. You just go off by yourself and do whatever the hell you're going to do, you know? Excuse my language. But I did some of the dumbest stuff drunk. Here's a funny story. You all are going to laugh, but I did not laugh. So we're in Eastern Oregon, camp hosting in a state park. I'm so drunk that my husband came to the trailer and he's like, hey, there's a frog over there. I did not remember any of this stuff. He had to tell me the next day. And so he's like, there's a frog over there. I'm like, where? And so I followed him out there to go get this frog. I headbutted a brick wall right here, trying to pick up this darn frog. I caught the frog and I walked right into the men's bathroom and dropped him in the sink and turned the water on and walked out. He was dry. Put him in the water. I mean, yeah, it's stupid stuff like that. Now I'm on the other side of that and I get to laugh at other people doing that. But really, what I'm doing is I'm laughing and thinking, dude, I can help you maybe.
yes, it is, Jolly. It is. I know I probably shouldn't share the story, but hello, welcome in.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, my head's okay. This was years and years and years ago. Yeah, but and I had an issue with I busted my eyeball open. Stupid drunk, that's what I was at this time. And it was before the first time I got sober. So I had fallen somehow, like I blacked out or something, and I smacked my eye on something. And when I come to, I was by myself because my husband and my kids like, no, we're out of here because I was flipping out. And so I come to, and I went like this, and my eye was bleeding. I was like, oh, grab my clean pajama pants out of the dryer and stuck
I
it to my eyeball.
I just checked out the moment in the word, um, and it's Darien.
Oh,
Magnificent Germany with
did you
Darien.
ask me to say his name?
He just told me who he is.
Oh, yeah, the chat gets uploaded, so sorry about that. But yeah, so I come to, my husband came home and he saw my face and he was like, "You're what the heck happened?" I pulled the thing away from my eyeball and he goes, "Holy crap. You're going to the emergency room." Last place I ever want to go is a darn emergency room. I hate the emergency room. And hate is a strong word, but it's the truth. So they rushed me down to the emergency room. I'm sitting there, doo da doo da doo da, and they call us over to check in and stuff. And I start flipping out. They close us in this room, and I start fighting with my son, my husband, a lady who I don't know who she was. All I know was she was a lady in a red sweater. And so I finally got out of that room and taken back to the emergency room. I was waiting and waiting and waiting. When you're drunk, the time is like going by way super slow to you. And you want to get the heck out of there. So I decided I was going to be a smart one and run out the emergency exit. I set off the alarm. Code red. I code red 3 times. And so I had a guard outside my room. And so I'm like, oh, geez, I'm going to be here forever. And so I got up and I stood at the end of, the curtain covers, the wall covers the room. It was open because there was a guard standing out there. And so I go over there to the wall and I'm standing there. Yeah, okay, whatever. You can stand there all you want. Me being a smarty. And I seen a doctor down there. I looked out, stretched my head out the window, out of the room, and I'm like, "Hey, there's a doctor. Can you come stitch my face?" Yeah, it was that bad. And so I had to have a CT scan of my whole head, of course, because I hit my head again. Or this was before the other one. But yeah, so that's the story. And I blame my sister. I said she punched me. This sister, and she didn't. She wasn't even there.
I was at
Who would
home.
have thought? So that's 2 of my stories that, yeah, being drunk sucks. So,
Anyways, yeah, things
you got
happen.
a story?
Huh?
You got a story?
Not really.
Okay. It's okay. It's fine. I don't mind sharing. I'm getting used to sharing my story. Some of it's funny, but some of it's bad. But all I can say is there is help.
And it's
And
free.
it's free and you can do it. It's hard. It's a lot of work. A lot of work. I work on it every day. Every single day. If I'm having a ranting about someone or whatever, I'm like, wait a minute, pray for them again. Keep on praying because you're gonna keep praying for that person all day long. But that's how you do it. I mean, That's the only thing we can do, and it helps us stay sober.
I
You know?
pray and let God do as He will.
Yep. Yep.
I have learned I can only control myself.
Hmm.
I cannot control anybody else or
Nope.
anything else. So I
Nope.
have to manage my own hula hoop, if you
Yep.
will.
Yep.
So
That's what my sponsor calls
and
it.
and the AA being free, only accepting small donations to pay their bills and everything. Uh, nobody's getting rich off of AA.
Yeah. And the whole thing about that, I think, is because um it's to help you become a better person, and um it gives you more confidence in being sober, and that you can trust yourself. If you can't trust yourself, don't become a treasure, don't become, but we also share the responsibilities of setting up, like putting the books out on the table. We make coffee, what have you. We all make a group effort to set it up and take it all back down. And you have to hold yourself accountable. And that's a problem with someone that is still drinking all the time, has a problem with, is they can't hold themselves accountable. They are blaming everyone else. And in reality, it's actually you that may be the problem. And that's one good reason to be sober for me. So it is almost an hour. And if anybody has any questions and want to ask, you can. I'll answer it as best as I can. But if not, we're going to get off of here in about another 4 minutes. How's that sound? Keeping you awake from your nap.
Yeah. My
Um,
nap is my meditation.
yeah. I play games.
It clears my mind.
Yep. Yep. Watching YouTube clears my mind. Well, for the most part, because I follow a lot of people on YouTube. Um, it's become like a great platform for me. I've come out of my shell a lot since I started this channel, and I'm pretty proud of what I've become.
I am too.
Um, so I will be live again on Wednesday morning, tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right after Ava Potterfield and Friends. Um,
Adventures.
yep, it's adventures, and I will share more of what we did while we were gone on
I
vacation.
said nap time, Kenny.
Lillian said nap time. Yes.
Thank
Are you
you.
going to take a nap too, Kenny?
Thank you very much for subscribing.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, so tomorrow is adventure discussion. And man, do I have a lot to share with you. It was one wild week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. I'll leave that for tomorrow.
Her hair's actually dark auburn.
Yeah, dark auburn. It's purple.
Almost purple.
I did dye it purple once. Once it was purple. Yeah. Kitty, you need a nap from all them hockey games. But I got rid of the gray. I had planned on not dyeing my hair, but she called me and she's like, "You want to dye your hair?"
I will be praying for you while you mow your backyard.
Yeah, I'll pray for you. Anyways, we're gonna close it off with a serenity prayer, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. And I do another meeting on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. And with that, we'll close the meeting. God,
Grant me the serenity.
serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Keep coming back.
Coming back to work if you work
Work
it.
it.
Love you guys. Have a great day.